Howdy everyone, this is the Great Heads showcasing the first video on my new Super Smash Bros. Prediction series. As you all know, the game was announced fairly recently during a Nintendo Direct, and we got to see two newcomers as well as a few familiar faces. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to talk about it due to simply being busy. Luckily, this prediction series will, predict everything from characters to stages and even items. In today's video, I will be specifically talking about which characters will be returning, and maybe go through some of the changes that they might experience. Let's get started! First, we should look at the roster from the original Super Smash Bros. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Eds, all the characters from Super Smash Bros. 64 will obviously return. And while this is true, the change in Link's design could hint at revised characters that haven't been changed in a while. For example, I think that Mario most definitely needs an updated moveset that showcases Cappy and other moves from his most recent appearances. Super Mario Odyssey shows a lot of fluidity and moves that can easily be implemented in Mario's movements. His final smash is also probably going to be the T-Rex capture. Of course, some people would miss Mario's current moves, so I propose that current clone characters such as Dr. Mario are closer to the original Mario design. This way, the new Mario doesn't have to utilize his old moves, while the original Mario fans can use Dr. Mario. Link is also very likely to change given his different appearance, which means that many of his rooms from Breath of the Wild would be part of his moveset. He could also probably utilize some of the champion's powers, such as the Rook's Shield or Rivali's Gale, and his final smash would probably be everyone using their Divine Beast. Toon Link can also be similar to Dr. Mario as a replacement for the original Link. Let's now get to Kirby, who recently had his own debut in the Nintendo Switch with Kirby Star Allies. There's not really an incentive to change Kirby's moveset, as his moves have pretty much stayed the same throughout his own series. The only change I can see is his final smash being something relating to his ability to combine powers in Star Allies. Pikachu is also one that doesn't need much change, but his final smash could simply be replaced by his C move from Pokemon Sun and Moon. Donkey Kong is someone that does need to have some of his moves changed, however, as they are all varying forms of punches and physical attacks. I'm not exactly sure what his moves could be changed to, since I'm not very invested in his franchise and do not have enough information to make a good enough prediction. This also applies to Samus and Ness, as I haven't played any of the Metroid or Mother games. Luigi is someone who can see a bigger change, I think. It would be a good idea for many of his moves to utilize his poltergeist, similar to Bowser Jr. in Smash Bros. For the Wii U. His most recent appearance was in Mario Odyssey's Balloon World, meaning that his recovery could represent that. Then we have Jigglypuff, who most definitely needs a buff since his last appearance. It could start by erasing all of his useless moves, such as Pound, Rollout, and Sing. Fairy-type moves could take their place, making Jigglypuff a great representative of the Fairy-type Pokemon. Finally, I feel that Captain Falcon, Yoshi, and Fox don't need a big change, since they are all well-loved characters that have well-loved movesets. That's all for returning characters in Smash 64. Now let's get started with Super Smash Bros. Melee, in which I'll actually be talking about the probability of characters being back for the next entry. Super Smash Bros. Melee for the GameCube introduced a bunch of new characters. Many of them we've seen many times, but some, well, they only appeared once. Here I will be talking about which ones will stay and which ones will not. I already talked about Dr. Mario and how his role in Smash 5 could be more than a clone character, and given his recent appearance in Smash 4, I would say that it is very likely that Dr. Mario will come back, even if most people don't want him. Bowser and Peach are basically guaranteed to be in Smash 5, and while I see Peach having little to no change, Bowser needs way more variety in his moves. Perhaps some of his moves from Bowser's Inside Story could be added to replace some of his still moves. Ganondorf is a bit trickier than others. While he has been in the past 3 Smash Bros. Games, his most recent appearance doesn't feature Ganon's Gerudo form. Of course, this can be solved by using the Hyrule Wario style, which would also solve the problem of him being a clone of Captain Falcon, giving him a whole new set of available moves. Falco is also very likely to come back, and while I can't really see him having a new moveset, I can definitely see him having another Final Smash that isn't the Landmaster. The Ice Scale Ambers are also likely to come back, since they were only absent from the Wii U and 3DS versions because of the lack of power from the latter console. Zelda will also likely come back, and a Breath of the Wild appearance and moveset wouldn't surprise me at all. However, her Sheik form may be based on Hyrule Warriors. Young Link and Pichu will not appear in the new Smash game, given how Young Link was replaced with Toon Link and Pichu has been absent from the past 2 games. Mewtwo and Roy may come back because of their DLC appearance and fan appreciation. However, I can see Roy being deleted. Mr. Game & Watch and Marth are very likely to come back with no change to their moveset. These are all the characters from Melee. So now let's get started with Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Just like with Dr. Mario, I already talked about the role that Toon Link could have if Link's moveset changes, so he's likely to come back. Ike, Sirius Samus, Pit, Wario, Olimar, Rob, Diddy Kong, King Dedede, and Meta Knight will all return, giving their appearance in Smash 4, with King Dedede's final smash being Buff Dedede from Kirby Star Allies. Meta Knight's final smash could also represent something from that game, as his current one is very bland and boring. Olimar's moves may change depending on if Pikmin 4 is being worked on or not, which I wouldn't doubt since E3 is right around the corner. Sonic is fairly likely to come back too, but I can see many of his moves changing to recognize Sonic Forces or Sonic Mania. Lucario isn't as likely to return as the previous characters, since his relevance has been lost for a few years, but it is still possible for him to appear. As much as people want him, I really can't see Wolf coming back, given how he has only appeared in Brawl, and he was technically a clone of Fox and Falco. While the Pokemon Trainer would be an interesting return, Charizard's appearance in Smash 4 makes it far more possible for only him returning. However, this was only due to the capabilities of the 3DS hardware, making anything possible, really. Finally, Snake will most definitely not make an appearance in Smash 5, because he was originally a request from Hideo Kojima himself, and since he no longer works at Konami, it would be basically impossible for him to reappear. We're almost there. Now it's time to talk about the characters from Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. The newcomers for Super Smash Bros. 4 are far more difficult to predict given how they have very little history. So I will be focusing more on what Nintendo has done in the past to try to reliably infer which characters are returning. For example, Rosalina, Bowser Jr., Duck Hunt Duo, and Villager are the most likely characters to come back. The first two because Mario characters have always stayed once they're introduced. Duck Hunt Duo because previous retro characters such as Mr. Game & Watch, Ice Climbers, and Rob don't leave unless it's specific to a problem. And Villager because he is currently the only representative of the Animal Crossing series. Since they are so recent, I don't think any of these characters will receive many changes. While Palutena, Little Mac, and Greninja are less likely to come back, I would say that they are still very probable. Greninja a little bit less since he is from the 6th generation of Pokemon. Robin and Lucina will probably not appear. mainly because of the many complaints of the overabundance of Fire Emblem characters. I can definitely see Lucina as a skin costume for Marth, however. Shulk is quite tricky, given how Xenoblade Chronicles 2 recently launched. I can't see him getting replaced completely by Rex, but I also can't exactly see him as necessary. Mega Man and Pac-Man are also complicated since they aren't Nintendo properties. But since Bandai Namco and Capcom have really good ties with Nintendo, I wouldn't doubt if they reappeared. Finally, Dark Pit, Wi-Fi Trainer, and the Miis have little to no chance of appearing. Many people talked about how unnecessary Dark Pit was. Wi-Fi Trainer and the Miis, while fun, have the Wii brand that Nintendo desperately wants to get rid of. Finally, this is all of the characters that I think will be returning for the next entry. Be prepared for my next video, which may come out in a few weeks. See you later, everybody!